We begin, though, with the charges beginning to pile up against the man suspected of shooting two Minnesota state lawmakers and their spouses over the weekend. Vance Belter is expected to make his first court appearance today. The 57-year-old surrendered on his hands and knees last night after a nearly two-day manhunt. The FBI announced federal charges, including murder, that could carry the death penalty. And this morning, an attorney with the county prosecutor's office spoke of the local charges they're looking to file.
Our office intends to pursue first-degree murder charges against Mr. Bolter. We are at early stages. We will be reviewing all of the evidence from law enforcement as it comes in and working with our law enforcement partners to develop the case.
Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband were shot and killed early Saturday morning. Now, a short time before those killings, State Senator John Hoffman and his wife were each shot multiple times. Both are now recovering in the hospital. CBS News correspondent Lilia Luciano spoke with Belter's roommate about the suspect's political leanings.
I was a Trump supporter, voted for Trump. You like Trump? I like Trump. Nobody's happy with the government. Everybody, everybody's happy, not happy what this politician does or that politician does, but you don't go on a shooting spree. It's just, that's why I hate even talking about it, because it's so crazy.
Anna Schecter has been following this case and joins us now here in Studio 57. Anna is the senior coordinating producer for CBS News' Crime and Public Safety Unit, has been covering the story since it broke this weekend. And Anna, we heard some incredibly chilling details in that press conference from authorities today, including that this afternoon that Bolter went to another state lawmakers' homes, and not just one, but two and three on the night of the shooting, four lawmakers' homes in total, I should say. What more can you tell us?
That's exactly right. They laid out in chilling detail, going first to Hoffman's house, entering the home, shooting him and his wife, then going to another state lawmaker who wasn't home, then driving over to Maple Grove, another neighborhood, and going up to the door. That lawmaker was not home. Even details about a New Hope police officer at that third location went to check on the lawmaker, even rolled down her window, tried to talk to Belter, tried to engage with him. He just stared straight ahead. She then went to the home and waited for other law enforcement. He then continued on, unfortunately, went to Melissa Hortman's home, shot and killed her and her husband just before fleeing on foot, escaping, because local law enforcement there in Brooklyn Park also went and encountered him, in fact, exchanged gunfire. So all of this really points to this series of targets. And we now know 4 targets. He hit 2 of them. And had police not encountered him there, who knows how many other people he might have hurt.
I mean, you think about this trail that this path that he was on, that law enforcement says he was on. There were so many opportunities, though, that they could have had to intercept him, still yet a close call on many of those points that they're going to be talking about. Can you talk to us about the combination of federal and state charges of what he's facing here, and how do they differ?
Sure. Well, we just learned that he is going to face 6 federal charges, including 2 federal murder charges. So that could carry the death penalty if prosecutors seek it. It's also could be that it's a life in prison. So he's facing 6 federal counts. Now, we also heard at that presser that the local county prosecutor is also seeking first-degree murder charges. In the state of Minnesota, maximum penalty is life in prison. So it's really up in the air. Let's see if federal prosecutors do seek the death penalty in this case. Otherwise, from everything I've seen, it's life behind bars for him.
What are we learning about Belter's background?
Well, it's interesting. We just heard from his longtime friend and roommate that he was a Trump supporter, but also that he had some financial issues. We heard from that same roommate, told our Lilia Luciano, that he was just trying to get a security company off the ground, but that he didn't have any clients yet, suggesting that he was having financial difficulties, which also could speak to his state of mind. Investigators are certainly looking at that. He had in recent years worked at a funeral home, jumped around various different companies, changing jobs quite often. So we're now starting to piece together. One other thing I should note, Lilia Luciano noted in her reporting this morning that the roommate told her that he was a listener of Alex Jones, and that was some of the media that he was consuming.
Plenty more to come on this. Anna Schecter, thank you very much.
Of course.
And flags are at half-staff across the state of Minnesota today in tribute to Representative Hortman. She's also being remembered at a vigil on the steps to the Capitol. That's in St. Paul. Dozens of people showed up on Sunday to pay their respects, some not even from Minnesota. They brought flowers and messages of love, also paused for prayers and moments of silence.